What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are joining me for another video. This will be our watch list for Lotto Friday, October 7th. If you guys are lucky, if I have time tonight, I will put out a very special edition of a top 5 Lotto Friday watch list for you guys. We'll see how this goes, and we'll see how the day goes. We'll see if I can get it out. The first one I've got on the list here, guys, is SPY. We're going to talk about SPY in a second, but I want to get through a couple things first. Number one, the platform, this screen that you're looking at is called TradingView. This is how I chart everything that I do. So if you're looking for a platform like this, TradingView is one of the options. If you've never used TradingView before or you want to try it out, if you go into the description, there's a link. You click on that link, you'll get a free 30-day trial to their subscription-based services. And then if you decide to use it, you get up to $30 off of that subscription. But you need to start by clicking on that link down below. What else do I got for you? I'm on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you can find me there at Mr. Clark Griswold. So go ahead, ask me questions. I also have a Discord, Griswold Trading. That link is in the description below. And everything that I offer for free or fee-based can be found in that Discord. So whether it's a Griswold Gold membership that includes the private one-on-ones, the group sessions, the top 5 picks, the 1-hour strat course that I created. Now, I didn't create the strat, but I created a course to help you guys learn. That's in that Griswold Gold membership, and a bunch of other really, really great things. Ad-free YouTube watch lists are in that group membership as well. You can find a bunch, and you know what, guys, if you're just looking for the indicator, which is also included there, or the live trading bots, that can all be done separately, bought separately, but you can find all that information in the Discord, so go check that out, or on Twitter, on my my pinned tweet. You can check it out there as well, or in the link in the description below. The last thing I want to discuss with you guys are the ads, and I know the ads suck, and nobody likes watching. Well, maybe some of you like watching ads. Some of them I'll tell you, I do watch some of the ads. Because they're intriguing, and I like to see what people say on some of the stuff. So those ads pay for this content to be free, and I'm grateful for that. But in order to keep it free, I need you guys to do me one favor, and I'm going to thank you in advance for letting those ads roll through. Go get a drink, go get a snack, let those ads roll through, and we can go through the watch list. But those advertisers are paying for your guys' education. So let them keep doing that. Let them roll through. Let the advertisers pay for your free education, and I thank you guys in advance for doing that. Okay, let's get started on the watch list. The first one we've got on here is SPY, and if SPY has a setup, I will always have it on my top 5. So there is a teaser. If I don't do the top 5 video, at least you know SPY will be on there. SPY has 2 actionable signals sitting currently. So there are 3 actionable signals in total. Okay, there's a shooter candle, which we have. There's an inside bar candle, which we have, or there's a hammer candle, which is just, it would be a big body up at the top here with the long wick down to the bottom. Okay, so this has an inside bar. It's got a shooter candle. We are going to look for triggers on this thing for puts at 372, what do we have? 372.68. So I have some other lines on here because I do a SPY series. If you guys are interested in that, at the end of the video, there will be a link in the top right-hand corner. You can go check out that video on YouTube as well. I've done one full SPY series in the month of September. We're doing another one for October, so go check those out. It's how you can trade SPY every day off of the 30-minute chart. So today, I had a lot of people ask me about it. They said, I'd love to see how you would have played it. Inside bars, guys, are tough to play. And CyberDog, Jermaine, the Strat Soldier, will tell you the same thing because it gets very choppy. There's not a lot of range on inside bars, and they just tend to go up and down within this tight little range, and it's tough to garner profit on those. So I don't necessarily, now it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you get an inside bar, and you might get a really good run on it for a game, like we did off of the first 30-minute bar that we did today. So again, that's in the video that I did today. You can go check that out. But off of this inside bar, we're going to look for a break to the downside. Puts at 372.68, like I said, and then the first target at 370.95. We're going to look to hit that Lotto Friday style tomorrow. Next up, we've got IWM. So IWM has this 2 up that finished red. So anytime I have this 2 up, and you see the candlestick numbers, that's part of the Griswold Strat indicator. And the indicator gives you all the Strat indicators in one. The numbers, the inside bars marked out, the time frame continuity, the outside bars like you see here are marked out in white. Okay. And I forgot to mention something about inside bars. We'll go through it in one of the other tickers. But so we have this 2 up, meaning we only broke, it's a directional candle, we only broke the high of the previous candle to go 2 up. And we're going to look to go 2 down on the next candle because we had a failed 2 up that finished red. We're going to look for puts at 172.91, and then our first target marked out there, and we're going to mark out another target here. But it's not the bottom of the candle, it is the top of the candle, okay? Because we need this gap to be filled. And then we can continue on to put the targets at the bottom of the candles as we continue to move downwards. I want to ask you guys something. So if you have the answer for this, leave it down below in the comment section. But when I do the video replays now, I don't have this little bar that I'm moving around. I don't have that anymore for the replays. And someone told me to do the desktop, the desktop app or whatever. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep using the website, but I want to know how to get this toolbar back because it's not giving it to me anymore. It's just giving me a big white block across the bottom of the screen, and I don't like it. So hopefully somebody has an answer out there to help me out. But that's IWM that we just looked at. So as we move on to the next one here, we'll go on to Disney. Disney has this 2 up that finished red shooter candle. So we're going to look for puts on Disney at 99.87. We've got our targets marked out. This is a 1, 2 up, 2 down reversal. 1, 2, 2 rev strat is what we're looking at on Disney here. Next up, we've got AMC. Also had a 2 up that finished red with a shooter candle. So another 1, 2, 2 rev strat. We're going to look for puts at $7.12 going to the downside. And then our first target we can mark out right there at $6.97 on AMC. EW, and again, I'm trying to do this full screen thing. I'm seeing glitches on here. Let me know if you guys are as well. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just on my end. 2 up red on EW, shooter candle again. Okay, so actionable signal. We're going to look for puts on this at 86.30, and we're going to look to take first targets at 85.64 on EW. Pinterest, PINS, had a 2 up that finished red. We're going to look for puts at 25.38. We've got this big gap to fill here at 24.91 on Pinterest. Next up on our list, what do we got? Apple, AAPL, 2 up, finished red. Shooter candle, we're going to look for puts at 145.22. Post-market is already showing a gap down. We will see how this turns out when we open on Friday. But a 2 up, finished red, shooter candle, puts 145.22. First target at 143.01. Airbnb, 2 up, finished red, puts at 110.20. Adobe, so this one's a little different. We had a 2 up to finish green, but we do have a shooter candle here. So we're going to look for this to trend down again despite it being green. We're going to look for puts at 297.10. And we've got really good magnitude down to the downside here at 289.18. A big move on Adobe, possibly for tomorrow. Next up, we've got AMD. AMD's got a 2 up to finish green, shooter candle. Puts at 67.66. First targets at 64.52. Really good magnitude again on AMD. Amazon, inside bars. Okay, so I didn't mention this on SPY, but we're going to go through inside bars. So if you have the Griswold Strat indicator, link is in the description below to buy it separately. $25 one-time fee, or you get it with the Griswold Gold membership. That Griswold Gold membership is a great deal, guys. It comes with a ton of stuff that if you bought all separately, you'd be way over what the cost is of the membership. So go check out that stuff as well in the Discord. But the inside bars, when you have the Griswold Strat indicator and it's painted out yellow for you, I want you guys to think, when you see these yellow bars, I want you guys to think of a spring being tightened and loaded and compacted. And when you release that spring, you get a big explosion to one direction or the other. And that's what we look for on the inside bars. So We mark the targets out there, calls at 121.53, puts at 119.50, and if we go back in time to find the previous inside bars, this one gapped up, but either way, or sorry, outside bar, either way we had really nice runs off of the triggers. Let's see if we can find one without an outside bar. There's another inside, outside. Here's an inside bar. And we triggered and barely hit targets. There's another inside outside bar. Here's an inside bar where we opened, triggered, hit targets. We had a really, really nice move there. So part of the reason why I go back and show you guys this stuff is because I want to talk about probabilities of trades working out. And that's what we trade, is probabilities, because we don't know what this next candle is going to be. It could be an inside bar, it could be an outside bar, it could be a 2 up, it could be a 2 down. We don't know, but we play the probabilities of what it should be based on what the candlesticks are telling us as a story. And we need to be able to read that story. And the more you look at this, if you guys give this stuff 6 months to a year, you will be very, very consistent at it. You will become a profitable, consistent trader. I promise you that. But you have to do it diligently and be consistent with what you're looking at and what you're doing every day with it. So there is risk with every trade, and it's how we manage that risk is how we become successful traders. And the better risk management, the better you are at risk management, the more successful you will be as a trader. And that's just the basics of trading and how it relates to the strat. Risk management is the #1 key. Okay, so we went through Amazon. Let's move on to the next setup. We've got BA, that's Boeing. Boeing also has an inside bar, so calls at 133.31, puts at 129.74. Inside bar on BIDU, and this is actually a 3-1 setup, so outside bar, inside bar. Realistically, just an inside bar setup. You see this gold pattern, that's also put out from the Griswold Strat indicator. And this 3-1 setup had a really nice move up, although it was a gap. And it's a rare pattern. The 3-1 doesn't happen very often. So if we go back in time and look for the last time we had a 3-1, right there is where we find it. And again, guys, if this is glitching, I apologize. I'll check the video after I send it out, and if it does, we just can't do full screens anymore. Here is the 3-1 setup, and again, this one worked out really, really nicely. Okay, we had this outside bar, inside bar, hammer candle. So again, that double actionable signal, inside bar and hammer candle, and we triggered and we hit targets. We did exactly, this story played out exactly the way the candlestick said it would. It said, if you trigger here, you can buy me and you can take targets here. And that's exactly what happened. And that's all we can ask for. And again, those stories aren't always true, but the probability of that story, that candlestick story becoming true is high. And that's just what we've learned from backtesting and what the candles have shown us throughout time. Okay, so that's BIDU. Let's move on to CRM, 2 up, finish red. We're going to look for a 122 rev strat, puts at 154.44. Datadog, 2 up red, shooter candle, puts at 93.10. Next up, Gamestop. Guys, it's funny, I just watched the Gamestop story on Netflix. It's a new series that's out. I think there's only 2 episodes, but it was really, really interesting to watch. I quite enjoyed it. Make sure you guys go check that out on Netflix. There's a shout out to Netflix. Basically just talked about how it came about and some of the big winners and some of the big losers. Talks about Robinhood and all kinds of other good stuff. So make sure you check out that series if you enjoy that kind of thing. Docu-series. 2 up, finish red on GME. We're going to look for puts at 25.80. GME at one point was at like 600 and some odd dollars. One guy I saw made like on that docu-series made $650K off of it. And another guy, I think the main starter, I can't remember, something kitty. I can't remember what it was, like 35 million bucks the guy made, which is nuts, 35 million. The height, I think he was at 58 million. So, good for that guy. Keurig Dr. Pepper, inside bar, calls 37.53, puts 37.01 on KDP. Inside bar on Mr. Softy, as Rob Smith would call it. It's actually a 3-1 setup. Outside bar, inside bar, the last 3-1 on Microsoft right here. And what did we have? Gapped up. What a really nice run off of that 3-1 setup. The last time Microsoft had one of those. So calls at, what are we looking at? 250.34 and puts at 246.08. Inside bar on MU, 3-1 setup actually. There's a bunch of those. Calls at 55.11, puts at 55.30. I'm going to mark this target out here and tell you guys to be very cautious. Because a lot of times, and I talk about this in a lot of videos, a lot of times what happens is this bar will open, it'll come up and tag, maybe go just above, and you'll never see that target again. It'll come back down and trade in this area or go outside bar. So be very cautious of that when you're trading stuff that doesn't have large magnitude, meaning a large gap, a large dollar value between the trigger and the target. I mean, and again, a large dollar value relative to the stock price. Okay, Nike 2-up finish red. We are going to look for puts on Nike at $89.81. Nvidia 2-up red shooter candle. Puts at 131.03 and great magnitude down to 126.21 on Nvidia. Oracle inside bar. Calls at 66.81. Puts at 65.22. QQQ is up next. 2-up red shooter candle. Puts 279.43. I have a feeling, now this is just a feeling, we could be very green tomorrow. I have a feeling we may be red. We'll see how Friday plays out though. Puts 279.43. First target at 275.42. And that's why we don't make trades based on what I think is going to happen. We make trades based on what is happening. So Roku 2-up finish red, puts at 58.65 because, guys, we have so many times in the market where we have all these bearish setups, these bearish patterns, and it doesn't end up being bearish. We have a really green day. So we'll see how this thing plays out. Puts 58.65 on Roku. First target's 57.65. If you guys have questions, make sure you're asking them down below. Make sure you give me a thumbs up on this video to help the algorithms. The comments help the algorithms. So I thank you guys very much for all of that. Next up, Starbucks, 2-up red, puts 89.26. We've got targets with great magnitude marked out to the bottom. The other thing I want to thank you guys for is the super thanks. And I do this quite often on the videos, thanking you guys for that. So the super thanks is down below, the little heart with the dollar symbol in it. It's just for donations. I've had a bunch of you that have made very generous donations. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it very much. Inside bar on Tesla. Tesla has higher premiums. So if you have a smaller account, Tesla is probably not the option for you. Okay, we've got calls on this tight inside bar at 244.58, puts at 235.35 on Tesla. 2-up red hammer candle on the trade desk, TTD, puts at 61.10 and good magnitude on the targets, 59.56 on TTD. Visa, now this is one that I don't normally put out there because the spreads between the bid and the ask, I buy options, and when I buy them, I like those spreads to be tight. If it's more than probably 5 or 7%, I'm not taking that trade because I don't want to be in a trade where I am down 5 to 7% already. That's why I love SPY so much. SPY has a tight spread, it's within pennies, usually just one. That's why I love it. Visa, higher premiums, and the spreads are a little bit wider, so I'm not overly excited to jump into those trades. But a 3-1 setup on Visa. The inside bar we have here is a shooter candle. So puts at 185.25, calls at 188.05. Beyond Meat, BYND, 2-up red shooter candle, puts at 15.10, and we've got good magnitude to the downside at 14.73 on that one. INTC 3-1 setup, calls 27.76, puts at $27. And again, if this triggers to the upside, watch because we've only got an 8-cent spread there between the trigger and the first target. Next up, Alibaba, inside bar, calls at 85.25, puts at 83.52, targets on the top and bottom marked out for you guys. LUV, not something I trade very often. I'm not sure what the spreads are on this thing. I don't even know what the premiums are, but we've got a double inside bar. So the last time we had a double inside bar, let's go see what happened on it. Okay, I'm going to mark out these targets for you guys first. There we go. Let's go back in time, and we'll just look for this big blue highlighted bar back on the charts. That's part of the Griswold Strat indicator. These are 2-3-1 setups. I don't even have to look. I just know, because that's what they show. Southwest Airlines, LUV, I've got nothing. This is how rare the double inside bars are, guys. I can't even find another one on here for us to look at. There's one. I found one. Let's zoom in on it and see what we got. LUV back in December of 2020. Triple inside bar. Look at that. Wow. Triple inside bar. Look, this candle told us a story. I'm just going to use the same color. It says if we trigger, take the trade. You can take profits at that target. You can take profits at that target. You can take profits at that target. This was a fantastic trade off of a triple inside bar. Consolidation for 3 straight days. A tightening range for 3 straight days. Looking for just a reason to explode to one direction or the other. Now we've got a double inside bar. So does it go triple? Man, I don't see triple inside bars very often on a daily chart. Okay, you don't see them very often in general, but it's less likely the higher you go up. We've got this double inside bar, calls at 33.22, puts at 32.40. Could it be on the top 5? Probably not, because I don't know enough about LUV to put it on the top 5 for you guys, but it's something to watch. It's something to play. It could be really, really great for you guys on a Lotto Friday. And again, if you guys are green on the week, don't go blowing up your profits into a Lotto Friday play, okay? You know, find a dollar value that you're comfortable putting into the market and make sure you're just keeping your stops tight and leave the week with profit, okay? Leave the day with profit, leave the week with profit. LTHM has a inside bar as well. We're going to look for puts on this thing at 29.66 and great magnitude on the targets down below at 28.47. Guys, if you want to learn more about this stuff, make sure you check out the bottom right-hand side at the end of this video. There's a Learning Tools playlist. It'll teach you everything you need to know about the strat, this strategy, and how to become a more profitable, more consistent trader. If you're looking for the SPY series, go click the top corner of this video. Okay, top corner on the right-hand side at the end of this video. And good luck on Lotto Friday, guys. I wish you nothing but the best. Have a great weekend to all my Canadian followers. I am Canadian. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and we will see you guys all on the next one. Bye-bye.